All right. Hi. Thank you, everyone, for coming. My name is Jackson Davis, and I'm excited to present to you my platform of persona this morning. Our vision is to give customers and content creators design tools to customize their channel, how users see their channel, and how each individual has an individualized experience when they log on. Now, a little bit about our team first. Being small, it is only me. We went through quite a journey this semester. We started as a group of students that were intent on creating a streaming platform, but we didn't really have a direction where. Everyone started to lose focus and go their separate ways, but through passion and persistence, I have maintained focused and determined to make this go forward. And a little bit of stubbornness too has led to me being able to create a platform and a project that I'm really proud of. As of right now, we still need a little bit of developers and UI designers, but we are doing stuff that on the sides to compensate for that. And one way is we have developed our own support team with individuals listed here, experts in their own field that bring knowledge and skill sets to our team and platform that otherwise no one else would have. Who are we serving? We are serving content creators and more specifically the animators that have been recently demonetized on YouTube as a whole and are now looking for other platforms that offer more steadily terms of usage and support. There are 1,233 animators on YouTube alone, and the viewers, they support them pretty readily. But the ad apocalypse apocalypse recently has eroded so much of the willingness of the viewer to even for example, use the ads. So that entire revenue is basically bunk on these platforms because they don't want to give the platform that shows no willingness to support their favorite creators any sort of money. How will we solve this problem? For animators, we will be providing the support they need to take their content to the next level, and we will give them the ability to fully customize their channel and the presentation of their content. On the user side of things, we will be giving them highly differentiated advertisement experiences based on their subscription level. There will be highly related ads. They will be highly unintrusive, so it gives you an immersive experience that doesn't detract from the content you're watching. They can be fully removed from the streaming services if you subscribe at a high enough level. And that all those subscription services also have their own built-in service that allows them to support their favorite content creators in a whole new way. The animators and the animation market is huge. Today, it has reached $2.9 billion in the US. And they have been completely demonetized from the biggest platform that is YouTube today. We want to take their animation to the next level and give them an opportunity to have a platform that doesn't throw them aside when they don't seem necessary anymore, but where we can let them develop and evolve their content. We are also targeting towards their loyal viewers. There are so many viewers of content creators today that are willing to seek outside sources of revenue to give to their favorite content creators, like Patreon, because the platforms today refuse to give these content creators the respect they deserve, the money they've earned. So they are quite willing and have made vocal how willing they are to move where their content creators will be supported. Our revenue model. This is where things get interesting because we have a dual-sided subscription plan, one for content creators and one for users. For users, we will be implementing a quite new system that hasn't been seen too much on the internet. But for content creators, we will be focusing on developing their access to tools that better their content. Now, this new system we're implementing for the users, it's called Tip Jar. Instead of leaving a like to increase the popularity of a video, if you're a subscriber, each month you get a monthly stipend of, based on your subscription level, tip coins. So every time you find a video that you really like and you want to support, you little few tip coins, and they're the tip jar for the video, and that directly increases the revenue of that content creator from that video. And if you want to get more coins, if you run out, there's always the option to buy more and buy more even features. Our expansion plan is an explosive one. We are determined to first dominate the niche of animation. Through the monopolization of the animators themselves, we will be able to take hold of this new emerging and booming market. We will then, after adding features specifically catered towards the animators, we will move on and expand to our desired new market of short film. Through events catered both towards the creators creating content fairs, or the entire site itself having events based around timely events like Halloween. We will have events where during the month of October, it's called Inktober, and there is black and white spooky content created for the users and the content creators to enjoy. This will all generate more hype and more attention through the features and updates added to the next branch of expansion as we move on to our next niche and we continue to revitalize the entertainment industry. Key resources needed. Development is by far our main concern. We realize that this is going to be quite the undertaking, technological, and we have taken steps to reach out and look for the resources that are available at the organizations that I am working through, like CSUMB. For our keys to expansion, our main runway model will take about $200,000. We will be able to get the proof of concept and the actual site running, but we will need additional rounds of funding through investors for these explosive expansion releases we have on our roadmap. For our initial content team, we aim for about 30 animators. We think that'll be a great core team to create the types of animation series that we want. For the development of this platform, we predict about 18 months. And my last thing about this product is we want this to be a creative space. We started out as a streaming service that was kind of losing its direction. And I have taken that, made it my own personal journey to focus on something I'm passionate about, which is art. The animation of this platform will be something that entertainment hasn't seen before. We will see users being able to take their passions and put them on this site and take them to their fullest extent. We will be able to give them the support they need. We will be able to support them for the work they've done, and we will be able to be a place that you feel like you can be as creative as you want. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you guys giving me this opportunity this morning. This has been the Persona Project by Jackson Davis. I would love to hear your feedback and any questions you have about this wonderful project that I have come up with. Thank you for your time.
Great, thanks, Jackson. So if you stop your screen share, and judges, if you would flip your cameras on, and you now have 5 minutes for Q&A.
Hey, Jackson, my name's Tim O'Connor. I love your passion for it. I guess my feedback would be 18 months is too long. Think about it in this terms, that's 1.5 COVIDs. And you think about all the things that have changed in the last 12 months in terms of development in the world. It's kind of, again, look, I guess you understand this market, so that's clear to you. It's not clear to me. I think maybe kind of, sort of, I kind of think what you're talking about, but I'm not entirely sure. So, and I guess I would be more comfortable if you actually had built something, if it was more than just you. I understand teams can dissolve. That's a really challenge, right? You probably need to get your team back together again and get a developer and at least build something, right? Because I know as an investor, I wouldn't put anything in it right now without seeing something, unless you were, and this is unfortunate, unless you were Mark Zuckerberg and you had built something before, right? Or you were Steve Jobs and you built something before. Here is, you have an idea, and it may be a very worthwhile idea. I don't know though, right? And so that would be my feedback. But you got a lot of passion for it. That's important. That's critical.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Organic Farm, the largest farming company with no farms. Do you want to eat vegetables and fruits taken fresh from the vine, or daily eggs? It's healthy, delicious, and the best thing you can do for yourself. Organic Farm is a marketplace. Organic Farm is a marketplace for local grown produce and gardening services. Our mission is to connect the local farmers to consumers. My name is Murat. I'm a gardener and AI specialist. We are 16 people of micro farming and tech experts. We come together to bring local fresh food to reachable distance to consumers. This will enable us to claim more than 3% of the billion-dollar gardening and grocery market. We will reach 3,000 users over 12 months. We need 750,000 investment amount to reach this target. I started gardening 3 years ago. Gardening was challenging for me at the beginning because you need to be familiar with various topics like the compost, fertilizer, plant diseases, from where to get necessary items. I realized that the local connection is a key factor for successful gardening, and there is no platform provides this service. After 3 years, I wanted to sell my excessive products, but I have only 2 options. Either I will go to the farmers market, which is limited by time and space, or I will make an agreement with the closest produce market. But I want to reach the consumers directly, and currently there is no easy and practical way for this. For consumers, having a fresh food in a reachable distance is not possible. For supermarket items, chemicals applied in the farm and the additives applied for long shelf life cause health concerns. Chemicals and additives are inevitable part of traditional farming. Also, traditional farming requires transportation and interoperations, which causes a time delay at reaching fresh produce to consumers. It's a lengthy process. Single tomato travels average 1,300 miles to get to retailers. Tomato collected when it was green and let it turn to red during travel time. Since the tomatoes were not able to ripen naturally, some nutrients never get a chance to develop. A growing number of consumers are concerned about the quality of the food they eat and are looking for more natural, local, fresh food. Quality-focused consumers are willing to pay more for fresh, healthier food. 10% increase in organic food spending is a good evidence for this. To verify this information, I conducted a survey on 232 people. According to this survey, 88% of the people want to buy local fresh food from their neighbors. 38% people want to sell gardening products to others. This result shows that there are enough people who want to sell and buy. Our solution is a community-based micro-gardening, which will eliminate the problems of the traditional farming. This solution enables local growers and micro-farmers to reach the consumers directly, with no delay or interoperations. To realize community-based micro-gardening, we developed a web platform and supporting infrastructure allowing a community to buy and sell local grown gardening products. This platform will reinstate the loose connections of the neighborhood, create local food social network to share the knowledge and experience, shorten the travel time for food, which means less carbon emission, create a new experience to reach the finest species of the plants like pearland, black green tomatoes, which is not available in the supermarket and do not transport well. Think about the variety that the micro farmers can produce for consumers. This will change the food ecosystem completely. Urbanic Farm is our product to connect micro farmers to continuous consumers of produce. To help micro farmers, Urbanic Diagnostic AI-based disease detection system and Urbanic Master Gardener Guidance are two side products to support Urbanic Farm. People's reactions to this project were 1,000 words. I love this idea. Great way to continue strengthening our community. This is great. I had so many peppers last year and didn't know what to do with them. And many more encouraging comments. Our early customers are micro farmers who already produce food and quality-focused consumers who are looking for local fresh food. We will connect them. Eventually, we would like to convert supermarket culture to local grower culture. If our customers use Urbanic Farm just for 10% of their total grocery and gardening needs, lifetime value of a customer is $4,600. Customer can use either flexible ordering or list-based ordering. In flexible ordering, either seller delivers or the customer picks on the vine. According to flexibility of the delivery time, buyer will pay less fee. In list-based ordering, customers give a recurring order with a list of items they need. Seller delivers the multiple orders in a scheduled time. List-based ordering will be subscription-based and we will promote this option. In version 2, there will be contractor delivery guides like in DoorDash. In version 3, we will let the drones to handle the delivery. I prepared for gardens in San Francisco Bay Area to attract initial buyers. They will be the first sellers when we launch. I am also a member of lots of gardening groups. I will use these connections to bring gardeners and the consumers to our platform. Also, we will organize events and seminars to introduce people to Urbanic Farm. We will send notifications and emails of new products, events, and discounts to maintain and grow customer relationships. Delivery is the biggest challenge. We will address the challenge by merging orders and providing scheduled order feature. Our initial optimization model is able to decrease the delivery distance from 4,000 miles to 3,450 miles, which means 14% less delivery cost. Urbanic Farm delivery service and the drone delivery are the future solutions of this challenge. Just in USA, people spent $18 billion for organic food in 2007. And this number increased to $42 billion in 2016. Also, people spent $47 billion for gardening. It's a big market, and its growth rate is 9.8%. Our revenue stream consists of 20% transaction commission and advertisements. Burpee, Home Depot, Walmart, and lots of landscaping and gardening companies are potential customers to host their ads on Urbanic Farm. Our financial projection shows that we will be able to generate $6 million revenue in 2025. For subsequent years, this number will continue to increase exponentially. If we look at our competitors, OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace are not designed for gardening products and local food community. Galora and CropSwap are designed for local food community. However, they do not have a gardener support and they are not product-based platform. Foodx concept is broader than the micro-farming connection. They sit between the family farms and customers. Community-supported agriculture is a very good program. However, shared risk policy is not for everyone. If things are slim, members are not reimbursed. It creates an uncertainty over the buyers. CSA is not able to address
3 minutes left.
Instant grocery needs. As opposed to competitors, Urbanic Farm will unveil the power of micro farmers. Social networking just for local community is a unique feature in the market. Buyers picks up on the vine is a new experience Urbanic Farm provides. Optimized schedule and flexible delivery will solve the existing problem that competitors are facing. This will be a differentiating factor for sellers and buyers to choose our platform. AI-based Urbanic Diagnostic and Urbanic Master will support farmers for better yield. Urbanic Farm support for gardeners and unique design for gardening products will make it distinct and different from others. So far, we burned $46,000 to complete the market research, product development version 1, company registration and trademark registration. Organic Farm will be released in next month. In August, we are planning to reach 100 users. In 2024, we expect that number to reach 80,000. Please meet our team. I'm a CEO. I have been gardening for 3 years. I created a huge garden in my small backyard. 3 years of experience allowed me to understand the gaps in the market. Fatih is Chief Operating Officer. He is providing service to farmers market, and he knows every details of the traditional farmer. Salman is our Chief Technology Officer. He is a supply chain expert. He has double masters in operation research and computer science. Ian is our Chief Marketing Officer. We have 4 people in our advisory board from different backgrounds. We have 6 software developers and 2 data scientists working full-time in Organic Farm. We need plant disease diagnostician, salesperson, and expert gardeners from different locations. I am in touch with multiple people to fill these positions. We are looking for 750,000 investment amount for product market fit and go-to-market. Investors will get return of investment after merging and acquisition or IPO. Merging and acquisition prospect shows that there are multiple buyers.
1 minute left.
From marketplace to online grocery, FoodX, Facebook, Amazon, Walmart, Instacart, and many more companies. Join the future of the food ecosystem. Invest on Organic Farm now. Thank you. I'm happy to take your questions.
I'm just going to jump in since I'm normally Brad would tell us, but I guess I'll just jump in. Murat, I really like this. I want you. My name is Tim O'Connor. I like this a lot. I like the name also, and I like the tagline. And I think there is definitely an opportunity for this in terms of the trends. My question to you would be simply this: given that you have engineers, right? Why do you want any money from anybody? Because that's expensive money when you take money now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why don't you just go build something? Just build it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really need some money, put something on Kickstarter or WeFunder or something like that. Because I know, I think that's what I would do. I just get going with this thing and take money at the last possible moment, right?
Yeah, definitely. This is also that's why we have been working on this project more than a year. That's why we brought to this technical level first, this project, and then there will be lots of costs for the marketing, because reaching the local farmers and the presenting the sales, the advertisements, these are all required money. And I'm also working full time in another company, so my time is also limited. So
see, that's the challenge of a startup guy. What you have to decide, Murat, if you think about me as an investor, my mind is your mind on keeping your job at Walmart, or is your mind on driving this company? It's really hard. It's a really hard thing, man. I'm telling you. I had to bit the bullet 3 times to do that, and just said, I'm all in.
Yeah, my answer is simple. I want to drive this company.
Yeah, but I like the idea, man. I like the idea. I just build something now.
Thank you.
And by the way, your projection, the next question would be, why is it going to take you that long? Why can't you get to 6 million in 12 months, right? This is I want to tell you, this is a really fine idea. It's a really fine idea, but there's lots of fine ideas, but most people can't even find it. But you got a fine idea, and now that's execution, and go fast. Go to a startup weekend, get some engineers, build this thing, build it now.
Our version 1 is already ready. I mean, it's going to be a launch next month. And we will start we will just invite the local farmers and the consumers to start the transactions.
Where are you launching it? What community?
In San Francisco Bay Area.
But where specifically? So like in the peninsula or East Bay, San Jose, where?
San Jose, Santa Clara, the Los Gatos area.
Super place to that really you got the demographic that would really like this.
Yeah.
Really nice. I really nice. I'd say if you want some money now, get it on WeFunder, get it on Kickstarter. This is something that you could get a tribe of people that will really support it, and you probably wouldn't have to. And the money that you'd give up is very little in the sense of you wouldn't really have to. If you did it on Kickstarter, you wouldn't even have to give equity. You would just be giving, T-shirts. Like we're making you a special founder of this thing. We're gonna name a plot after you. Don't give equity, man.
But as far as I know, the Kickstarter is looking for the concrete product, not the software.
No. You can do okay. Well, then go to WeFunder. I had a startup. I raised like $100,000 in WeFunder in like 90 days.
Okay.
1 minute left.
Okay, I will take that.
And all was an idea. And I'll tell you what, it was not an idea as good as this idea. And I got 20 grand from some guy in Saudi Arabia. I got 10 grand from a guy in Ireland. Check out WeFunder.
WeFunder. Okay, I will definitely check.
Well, yeah, definitely you have a great idea. Yeah, this is Harvey. I love your idea, and yeah, definitely if you can do something by yourself, you can, in the long run, you will save a lot of money, a ton of money.
Thank you. I believe so.
Hi, my name is Jeremy,
I'm Marimo.
and we are Trailblazer. So what is Trailblazer? Trailblazer is a social networking platform that will allow users to build their dream team for startups. In addition to this, they'll be able to raise capital through rewards-based crowdfunding. And it's hard to know whether your idea is good or not, so they will be able to conduct surveys on our iOS application to validate whether or not their idea is good or not. We are a very ambitious team. We're aiming to acquire 5 million users within 3 years, which would be earning around $10 million out of a massive market of $61 billion in the social media market. So crowdfunding with the implementation of Ethereum smart contracts shall allow us to have the unique advantage over other companies that will eliminate transaction fees. In addition to this, it will also make it safer for those who want to invest, as through the use of Ethereum smart contracts, people will not be able to get money until they complete certain milestones. There are a few key assumptions that we made in our company. First, it's that entrepreneurs find it difficult to find the right team members. So from our personal experiences, it's extremely difficult to find the right teammates to get our project rolling. More people want to start businesses, and we've seen this trend throughout the entire COVID-19 pandemic, that more people want to start businesses because of unemployment. Nobody likes transaction fees. Well, this is a simple one. Nobody likes to pay for transaction fees. It's not a fun thing. And finally, our idea and use of referral marketing shall work because users can promote their ideas on the application to help get funded.
The team is composed of 4 young, diverse individuals. For our business side, I, Marimo Kyozaki, I'm a CEO of Trailblazer, and I speak Japanese natively. And we have In-Team Wei. He runs a factory in Taiwan. He's also fluent in Mandarin Chinese. And we both have studied business at College of Business at CSUMB. So we have prior knowledge of how to run a business. And for our engineer team, we have Sang-san Reiser. He's our lead software engineer and also graduated from CSUMB last year and fluent in Thai. Finally, we have Jeremy Shah. He's a software engineer, and he also graduated from CSUMB last year as a cum laude, and he's our lead spokesman.
Our mission statement is to boost the success of Trailblazers, which is our user base, by connecting skills and knowledge from all over the entire world. So what is the problem? Well, the problem is this number right here, 90%. That is 90% of 627,000 startups that fail every single year. And why? Well, there's three primary reasons as to why. First of which is there's no market need. So we know that startups fail when they're not solving a market problem. But it's difficult to know whether it's a problem or not. So through the use of our application, users will be able to conduct surveys, see how popular their idea is amongst the community, and know whether or not there is a market need for their idea. Two, they run out of cash. The lifeblood of companies, a lot of times, is the money. We need a money stream in order to operate and survive. So having a poor cash flow will kill a company. Through the use of our company, through the use of Trailblazer, users will be able to gain the funding that they need, assuming that their idea and project is good, and be able to get the money that they need in order to get started up and lifted from the ground level. And finally, the most difficult thing is finding the right team. And through the use of our application, you'll be able to find the right team members with the specific skill sets that you need.
Through the last decade, we have witnessed incremental growth in the number of startups by 43%. In 2020, last year alone, it has grown by 9.6%. Also, we've learned 62% of all American adults have answered entrepreneurship is a good career choice. In 2020, 3.6 billion people were using social media worldwide, and by 2025, it will increase to 4.41 billion. So, how did COVID-19 change the world? One, there was a drastic increase in unemployment rate. So it's quite hard to find a new job right now. Two, people realize that we can work remotely from home. So we have more time to spend on our hobby from staying home or quarantine or working remotely.
So our solution, well, our solution is to try to create an interactive app which will allow users to be more involved in startup projects. So they'll be able to directly talk to entrepreneurs with comments, they'll be able to create group chats, and it will be an overall extremely more interactive style of a crowdfunding features. In addition to this, we would like to centralize users' interests. So on our application, unlike many other applications where you're following other people, here users are able to follow the ideas that they like. So they are following the ideas rather than users. By following the ideas that the entrepreneurs post, entrepreneurs are able to find and get connected with diverse teammates who have similar ideas and interests to help create this project and make it come into fruition. And finally, we would like to innovate by using blockchain technology. So unlike many other startups which have many fees and regulations of standard crowdfunding platforms, through the use of Ethereum smart contracts as well as using cryptocurrency, this will help eliminate the problem for transaction fees for those who want to start up a startup company. All right, here we go. How does it work? Well, using our application is extremely simple.
3 minutes left.
What's that?
3 minutes left.
Okay, thank you. How does it work? You could create your account. It's extremely simple. You just use your email, password. Next, you follow your interests. So you could follow any variety of interests. This could be related to education, schooling, blockchain technology. It could be any of these interests that you have. From there, you're able to tag all your interests and share your idea. People are able to follow your idea, and from there, you could choose from a pool of individuals or users and build your team and raise the capital that you need in order to get your company off the ground level. Our competition. Trailblazer's competition is fierce, But because we are looking to target specifically individuals who would like to create a startup, we feel that our application is perfect for them. First, people will be able to be more involved with the project. You're able to discuss and talk to other people who are on the ground level of this project. Second, our membership fee is extremely low. So it's $5 per month. And also, of course, users could use this for free. But with the membership fee, users will gain access to a training system on how to better start up a startup company. They will have access to a survey function to know whether or not their idea is good or not. Through the use of smart contracts, this will allow users to have transparency of how their funds are being used. So investors will know how their funds are being used, which will help eliminate fraud risks. And also, we're looking to create events, live streams every month, so new companies who are on our application are able to demonstrate what ideas they have to offer.
Here's our financial projections. We assume that we are able to reach 5 million users, earning more than $8 million within 3 years. The growth assumption is based on LinkedIn growth ratio, which is 1,600% in their first year. So we cut it in half.
1 minute left.
Okay. We assume that users will share their business ideas on the app to advertise and to get funded and to get rewards. Also, it's depending on advertisement on YouTubers using influencers. And then our revenues are coming from advertisement and membership fees. Our expenses are going to be corporate tax, database, and advertisement.
Our go-to market strategy is going to first be on acquiring more users because we will not have a platform fee, and referral marketing. So users are able to share their ideas, and with more users, they'll be able to promote their ideas on the platform. We're also aiming to create an active customer relationship, much like many major platforms such as YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And we will have monthly premium membership benefits, as we stated earlier.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Nice job, folks. So now I'll ask the judges to turn their cameras on. You have 5 minutes for judges Q&A.
I think there's I think the problem is clear, but maybe I'm biased, but like startups are like super hard. Any type of partnership is super hard, right? And it's ugly, it's painful. You are gonna look into the abyss of failure, of all the things you can imagine of human nature, of challenges happen, right? I don't know how you build the social glue by finding somebody on a platform that may be far away, because I've just never seen, that it's that you got to build that social glue with somebody who's literally, like who's working, you're working together on this. And that's the problem I find with all these sites. I know that what they're trying to do, but I just haven't figured that one out, because so what's your thoughts on that one? Because like, I wouldn't start up a business with somebody that's halfway around the country, halfway around the world, even 200 miles away, right? I don't know them. I want to know them. So how do you address that?
So we're thinking of a little bit more of a connected future where, as we currently are discussing over a Zoom call, and I haven't met you face to face, but we are discussing and we're able to have a social interaction with people through the use of new technologies such as Zoom, phone calls, and being able to just discuss with people online. I think that we're heading towards a more remote and online future. Just looking yesterday, I saw that one of the major companies, Coinbase, decided to work entirely remotely rather than having their headquarters based in San Francisco. So I could see that people are working from all over the world now. And I think that will give our applications, as well as people who want to create startups, access to different markets throughout the entire world, such as you're able to interact, such as we have a friend right now that we're currently working with in China, and we have another friend that speaks Thai, and we have people from all over the place, and we're able to build this application together.
Sure. I appreciate that, but that really didn't answer my question, right? And there's no question about that. I'm talking about the first two founders together. Let me tell you what, I've hired, during COVID, I've hired some people that I've never physically met, right? But I didn't start a business with them. That's an entirely different world. We're talking about starting a business where you're 7 days a week for a year working together in the trenches. I still would love to know, how do you build the social glue? You and I are not going to build a business together because we just did a video conference together, right?
Right.
Right. So that's, I don't know. I don't know if anybody can answer that. And again, it's my bias. I just.
Yeah, it's something that we need to work on more, but I think we are able to address that in the future.
Yeah. You think of like I've never used one, right? Because like I'm married 30 years and plus, like, but you know, these dating apps that are out there, you still have to physically meet, right? Yeah, you might use the thing to find each other, but you got to physically connect. Yeah. That's all. That's
Right.
my comment.
Okay. Hari, any questions you have?
No, I have the same question actually. Connor asked, and his concern. Yeah, it's hard to how people can trust, you know, when you don't know anything about that person and background.
Hi, I'm Lucas Young, founder of My Local Thrive, an online club connecting users to their community by amplifying experiences and creating unique incentives at locally owned businesses. We set out in January of 2020 with the mission of creating a new way to get people living well and choosing high quality locally owned businesses and artists over their corporate and online competitors, a sort of concierge service in response to discount clubs, which are both a little boring and in the economic conditions created by the pandemic, are both unethical to ask of businesses and often not feasible for these struggling retailers. So just as the ticket to a concert isn't as much about the ticket itself as it is about the show it represents, our app is simply the access point into the real world ecosystem that is the heart of what we offer, which includes perks at local retailers and events created for our members. Perks are a way in which we increase value at locally owned services in exchange for bringing them quality customers. We've set up bundle deals, hidden menus, adventures, classes, and multi-business collaborations all around town that highlight the strengths of our locally owned partners. By focusing on quality rather than simply offering discounts, we've been able to leverage relationships in many of the most sought after businesses in the county. We currently have just under 30 businesses participating, and while I was having to walk into businesses one by one when we started out, the last 7 businesses have signed up remotely, with several of them reaching out to us on their own. We view this as a key inflection point, which will allow our business to scale more rapidly. The second branch of the network is based on setting up events, as well as allowing vendors in our network to host their own events as pop-up artists. We want our users to have a sense that they can always know where the magic is happening, and not just hear about things after they happened. These events can be as simple as creating a one-time experience at a business in which they're allowed a little extra room to shine, such as sake and sashimi pairings at Sushi Fly, merging 2 businesses in the case of sailboat wine tasting, all the way up to planning large-scale events, such as a warehouse experience we're putting together for the week of West End. The third and final branch of our network is our community focus. We're donating 15% of membership-generated revenue to local nonprofits in order to positively affect the community and root our membership even deeper into the community. Pictured here is the first time I've ever bought diapers, and with the help of our members, I was able to purchase 4,600 of them for a local resource center. Beyond simply donating money, we're empowering our members and businesses to get a piece of the action by setting up drop zones in which businesses can collect specific resources for organizations in need. Although these events are open to anyone, we're integrating a system for rewarding members who lend a hand by offering deeper levels of perks for members as they contribute. So who is this for? Now, before we get into the several 100,000 people we view as member candidates, I would like to zoom in on 2 of our most active members, Zach and Isabel, to paint a clear picture as to how our network is used and to see how they use the app differently in order to demonstrate its versatility. Zach reached out recently and asked where the best fish tacos in town are.
There's a nuance in that question that I think gets to the heart of what our members are looking for. Zach isn't looking for the cheapest fish taco or the most convenient fish taco. He's worked hard to make time his most scarce resource, and saving $1 on a mediocre plate would cost him the feeling that he wasn't spending it well. He's also a real estate agent and recently prompted us to generate bulk access codes so he can give his new homeowners a year membership when they buy with him. Zach is what we call in this network a perk hunter and a recruiter. His fiancee Isabel is an experience seeker, and although she probably loves a good fish taco too, she leaves the perk hunting to Zach. Isabel has been one of our most active members when it comes to events. Our upcoming sailboat wine tour is the kind of thing she's after, and we suspect that if we keep the events coming, we can look forward to seeing plenty more of these two. So to recap, our members are coming to us for a new model of connection with the businesses and services in their town, one based on a high degree of quality from local artisans they can feel good about supporting, and they want to do it with a community of people rather than the cheapened one-way street that marketing programs often pave. So how many Zachs and Isabels are we talking about? We'll start with the broadest possible range and narrow it down until we find our path to the individual members. There are 750,000 people in Monterey, Santa Cruz, and San Benito counties, with 400,000 people between the ages of 20 and 40, an age group that nearly all of our current members fall into. Within this population, the county has many people we classify as transient locals, such as military members and students. These are individuals who are short-term residents, but often stay long enough to want to develop roots in the community. We see this as a high leverage opportunity to present them with a fun community and tap them into quality services within their new region. So the big question, how do we make money? The Local Thrive generates revenue in 3 ways. The first is through membership dues, of which our users can choose between $4 per month or $30 per year. For the sake of calculation, we're assuming a $5 custom member acquisition and an 18-month retention rate. This nets us between $52 and $72 for monthly members and $48 and $72 for yearly members. Once in the network, users, including non-members, will be of value through in-app purchases and event attendance. Beyond membership fees and events, our pop-up locator will provide ongoing revenue and act as a freemium benefit to get non-users to download the app. We will offer it for free until the network is of sufficient size, at which point vendors will pay to host themselves on the app. And with our overhead being only $60 per month before advertising expenses and having accumulated no debt in the process of creating this business, which was a result of bootstrapping profits and doing all of the programming ourselves, we became profitable after only 22 members. I'd now like to introduce our team. As stated before, I'm Luke Young. I graduated from CSUMB with a degree in ecology, which hopefully explains the way I think about this ecosystem we're creating and my love of the mutualistic relationships within it. I formed the Local Thrive on a website I created through YouTube tutorials. By November of last year, however, it was becoming apparent that I didn't have the skills that needed to make this a success on my own. Fortunately, one of our members who had a wealth of creative ideas became a business partner and a friend. I'll now hand the mic over to the marketing Jedi himself, Jake Korecki.
Hi all, I'm Jake Korecki, Marketing Director for My Local Thrive. As a graduate of CSUMB's business program, I come with an extensive background in digital marketing with past experience with B2B and B2C products, including having worked with SaaS startups and past Startup Challenge Monterey Bay winners Heavy Connect and Yoderm. I bring an eye for growth and strategy for systems building that'll help bring our app to the forefront of Monterey and beyond. Our growth plan for acquiring members begins by attracting app users through community-focused events, targeted ads, and social media content to capture their attention, beginning with our existing social media audience, which has undergone a 357% growth in the last year. With some additional funding, we aim to expand our reach through targeted social media and Google Ads, as well as permission-based marketing through SMS and email. We've initiated a strategy for A/B testing content across different niche demographics, both inside and outside of our existing network, enlisting the help of local artists and filmmakers to create quality content that our vendors will be proud to share on their own social media accounts. This will serve as a means for us to convert more of our partner vendor audiences and spread awareness through channels outside of our own. Aside from digital marketing outreach, our in-person gatherings will provide us with valuable marketing opportunities to reach potential members and strengthen our bond with existing members. As prospective members journey through the funnel, we will work to create
3 minutes left.
Create tension to join while still rewarding them for being in the network. We will showcase and highlight pop-ups as a freemium model through our social media channels, but empower the pop-up artists to create perks of their own for members to enjoy. We will host occasional member exclusive events, which will further reward users who shift from being app users to paying members. To round out the physical efforts, our nonprofit meetups will act as a catalyst for shareable content and word of mouth referrals. A campaign during the fires of 2020 in which we shared ways that people could be of service has been our most viral piece of content to date. And while it certainly is not the reason we're doing this, it has become an invaluable marketing tool. The final phase of the funnel is generating word-of-mouth referrals made easy through an in-app QR code. This will be trackable, and we will have the ability to reward members for recruiting their friends. Now, how do we expand? During our expansion within the Central Coast, we're working to identify demographic profiles performing well in our existing network, which will guide us as we expand to new markets. This brings us to what we call local thrive hubs. Let's get into what defines these hubs. So what makes a hub? The city or county must be in a 2-hour proximity of a larger metropolitan area or another local thrive hub, and must have sufficient population to support a network, but not such a large population as to be lost in the noise of current marketing efforts. This will allow us the opportunity for cross-promotion between hubs, as well as advertising weekend getaways to the larger cities. We'll determine a city's likelihood of fitting within our network based on metrics, including census data, and by testing ad campaigns for effectiveness. We're looking to avoid attracting bargain hunters, and we'll carefully maintain our network as being quality-driven and overprice-driven. In order to facilitate this expansion, we're reaching out to local influencers and businesses with a strong social presence in order to form an ecosystem that fits within the culture of their town. By incorporating locals with deep roots in the communities, we will empower people to create a Thrive Hub that is custom fit to their town, and in doing so, we'll be able to generate income for their efforts. Looking down the road, we see an accelerated growth as we continue to get our network to certain inflection points. As the network effect takes hold and the growth becomes a function of the size of the network and the strength of the connections within it, we are anticipating 25,000 members spread out through 10 hubs by the year 2026. This, of course, would come with many non-members along for the ride, adding monetization value to the other pillars of the network. The day we're most looking forward to is crossing our first major nonprofit goal of $100,000, which we have currently raised $3,500. In closing, we're honored to have been a part of this year's Startup Challenge Monterey Bay. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And for any businesses watching that are inspired to collaborate, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram.
Excellent. Nice work, guys. So now we have 5 minutes for the judges to ask questions.
Stop the screen share.
Lucas and Jake, my name's Tim. It's a beautiful, beautiful pitch deck. And I think that it makes sense that there's a market for this. What I don't know, what I'm left unsure of though is who's your competition, right? Because you didn't cover with that. And the second point would be, why is it going to take you this long to scale? This thing would be one of these things that inherently is scalable fast, or it's not scalable at all, right?
Correct. So, we addressed our competition broadly as discount clubs. I would say specifically Groupon would probably be our largest major competitor, which has been on the downslope over the last few years. I think people are becoming conscious of the fact that, Groupon kind of gouges businesses in their attempt to squeeze out profits for their own. Also, there are things like the Save 30, where you get a gift card for 30% off at different places. So most of our competitors are focusing on adding value by dropping the price, and we are trying to go at it by being creative with ways that we can add value by enhancing the quality. Having people that do things well just do them a little differently for the sake of a unique experience. It's taken so long to expand up till this point, largely because of COVID. A lot of the businesses became wary of trying new projects during COVID. So we got off to a good start. The first 10 businesses took a while because we were nothing at that point, and I was basically trying to convince people to bet that this was a good idea. And then after 10 businesses got on board and we started ratcheting up in the quality of the businesses we included, they started coming on faster. And so it's been this kind of chicken and the egg thing where members want to see what businesses we offer, businesses want to see how many members we have. And so we've been having to kind of slowly ratchet that up. As far as our projected growth, it's speculative at this point. And in my heart, I feel that it is going to grow faster than we stated. I just didn't want to throw out a number that was so extravagant that you were thinking that we were not rooted in fact. And it's going to take some effort to establish the different hubs. So we're currently establishing a market in Sonoma County, And we have 3 businesses on in Sonoma. So we're going to start getting members there. But so the initial kind of planting of the seed in different towns takes a little while to ramp up. So I was thinking that over the next couple of years, we were going to have multiple towns starting up, at which point they'd approach a critical mass where it would be allowed to grow very rapidly.
You know, one thing to consider this, I like your idea of going to Sonoma. Check out an airline, a new airline called Avella, AVVEL, right? They just started up in headquartered in LA. All the destinations they're going to are going to the weekend travel destinations for people to LA. So
Perfect.
Sonoma, Bozeman, Montana, Las Vegas, etc.
That's so cool.
And what comes to mind is if you have people in your network, and all of a sudden I'm going to Sonoma, and I'm already the local Thrive member. Now I go to another city, right? Just like when you go to another city, a lot of times people look at Yelp, right, for restaurant reviews. That you get some network effect of the people that are already members of going to another place so you already have the member. The member is now coming to that other area. And I didn't hear a pitch. I didn't hear a pitch for money. Did I miss it?
Well, so I was told that we aren't pitching as if we are pitching to investors, that we're pitching the business as a whole. Currently, yeah, we would definitely love some money to pump back in. We didn't name a specific number.
Yeah, you should. The rest of the time goes to Harvey.
Hi, Harvey.
No, I'm good. I think.
Brad, any questions?
Right. No.
All right. Very good then. Thanks, Jake and Lucas. Nice work. Well done.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Okay. Thank you. I'm the CEO of Stress Free TC. I have 14 years experience in the real estate industry, and I'm owner of a manual transaction coordination company prior to 2019. And after dealing with hundreds of files manually, we began the journey to digitize transaction coordination. To understand what we do, what you need to understand is there's phases of real estate, phases to buy and sell real estate. Over here, the lending and the escrow and title are totally separate from what we do. They have their own antiquated manual processes. What we're solving is we're solving the agent and the broker problem. The agent does 15 hours of work per transaction. They either do it themselves or they hire a person or a company like mine, transaction coordinators. What is a transaction coordinator? A transaction coordinator is to an agent as a paralegal is to an attorney. Paralegals do the case and the file prep. TCs, that's what we're called, transaction coordinators, do every interaction with all parties in a real estate transaction. So the big problem of real estate transactions is we're stuck in an antiquated, inefficient manual process. The average agent spends thousands of dollars a year on TCs to manage their paperwork or hundreds of hours doing it themselves. Agents are frustrated, TCs are frustrated, and their brokers are frustrated. Buyers and sellers have to complete paperwork in person, and the overall real estate process is confusing, inconvenient, time-consuming, completely antiquated. Also, because there's so much manual data entry over multiple platforms out there, because corporations and other broker systems are out there, forces agents to basically have to work within these platforms. And there's no one place, they're prone to errors, and errors in real estate cause lawsuits. We're the first automated transaction coordination platform. If you can see in the orange here, we've eliminated over 50 manual steps. That takes 15 hours of work per transaction. How did we do that? Well, we have proprietary software that makes amazing dynamic timelines. And those timelines are extrapolated from the paper that's put into our system, and it drives tasks, keeps everyone on contract, and it's all automated. We have automated checklists that keep everyone compliant with their broker and the Department of Real Estate. We have a unified portal because buyers and sellers and everyone involved need to see the transparency and know what's going on so it becomes easier. We have some future other things that we're doing in our platform. I don't have enough time to talk about them all, but digitizing forms and the broker review part are definitely in position in our next phase. About my team, well, I'm the CEO and founder, and I used to be a business analyst. Patrick, who's on this Zoom with us, he's been working with me for 9 months now as the director of our operations. And we have analyzed this business model extremely long time, to the point I'm almost like, wow. And he is the co-owner of Palo Alto KW. He's had 20 years in the tech industry and scaled several companies. Bernadette is our newest person on the team. She's the director of sales and helping us literally launch right now in Southern California. Martin, chief technology officer, has been with me since day one in my living room, has 20 years experience. So let's talk about competition. Our competition currently right now are humans. Human traditional TCs under these 3 companies here. As you can see, all the check marks are our company, and we have automated all these processes. These traditional TCs, they don't have tools, they have no platform. And so there are some platforms out there that do a little bit of features, but nothing compared to us. And why? Because big corporations make big platforms, and they didn't ever look at the transaction coordinator or the agent's paperwork. I'm going to let Patrick talk about the business model.
So today, when an agent uses a transaction coordinator, they always pay that transaction coordinator at the end of the closing. So the closing, the transaction completes, and then the title company sends a check to our title escrow company sends a check to the transaction coordinator for all their work. And typically these ranges for pay at closing start to be between $395, sometimes up to $495 per closing. So we are also currently providing that option for agents that are more comfortable with a traditional pay at closing. And in our model, they still gain the benefit then of the sophisticated software platform that we have that automates so many things and make sure there are less issues and fewer risk in committing transaction. And the future for us, which we're starting to launch a bit now, is what we call MyTC Pro. And MyTC Pro is a subscription-based SaaS service where an agent can subscribe for a low fee per month with an option to use our transaction coordinator service to oversee the transaction. But they can, in their model, be completely independent from having to use a transaction coordinator and effectively function as a QuickBooks. That the system will guide them for every single step, and they will then save lots of time and lots of money from their own personal time. So next slide, please. So real estate, as you guys all know, is one of the largest businesses in the United States, and the volumes are pretty extensive. So every year there's almost 6 million transactions across the United States, and there are over 1.4 million registered US agents. So based on that scale, we estimate the market across the United States to be $4.6 billion. And as we're currently targeting 3 states, which is California, Florida, and Texas, we estimate that the market size of selling our services into that market to be $936 million. Our goal right now is that we're going to start with California and Florida, and we're going to move into Texas in 2024. So next slide, please.
Okay, our go-to-market strategy. Our biggest, I think, our biggest tool here is brokers get to use platform for free. That's how we get the agents. They will then direct agents to use that platform, and they also get a revenue share. So 25% revenue share on all their agents running it through the platform. Agents also convert. Excuse me? Oh.
3 minutes left.
Okay, agents can refer other agents and also have an affiliate 25% referral fee. And No one in transaction coordination has ever done an affiliate fee like this. Obviously, we're going to do partnerships and we're going to do our regular marketing channels, PPC, and all of our social media. We're currently doing all of that. And that's how we plan to go to market. Patrick's going to talk about financials.
So based on our estimations, we target to make $317,000 this year with a goal to reach about $32 million in 2025. Our margins stay high because we are primarily a software-based business. And the way, since we are an LLC, a big payout for us will be in dividends to our shareholders. So the goal is to pay out a bit over $10 million in dividends by the end of 2025.
Funding needs. We're asking for $900,000 for a 12-month burn. To date, we've raised almost $1.2 million with friends and family. We have a product. We've been in product development for 2 years, just came out of beta. We're launching in May, which is now May. We have paying customers. And we're going to take that $900,000 and for the next 12 months, we're going to do some improved product development, DocuSign integration, digital forms, broker compliance dashboard. So we'll have a end-to-end solution. We're going to scale our lead generation through the sales and marketing and add on some resources. Our targeted results are going to be close 2,500 transactions and get to $850,000 in revenue in the next 12 months with this funding. We look forward to your questions.
There you go. Excellent. Nice job. Well presented. We now have 5 minutes for the judges to ask you questions.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the real estate business as a business, right? It seems pretty interesting to me, in terms of the numbers. It seems like, you're taking friction out of everything seems to make sense to me. My question to you then is, I guess, is twofold: is why will it take so long to scale this thing? And second, if you already raised $1 million and you already have, revenue and people using this, and people, would inherently, who are in this industry, know the value of this, why can't you just get 10 top end broker agents to just fund you? Or, that just each put in $100,000 each, because if they have all these transactions themselves, right, they would inherently see this as just like a no-brainer. So I always wonder, why would you even be pitching anybody for money? Why do you not already have the $1 million?
Well, that's a great question. So the industry, I'm going to try to be really brief about it, but the industry is antiquated. Okay, they're not ready for what we have, and agents have so many tasks to do that they end up they basically end up hiring out, because this is only one little piece of everything an agent does in the selling process. So sure, we could, but we also have a conflict, which we did find out, bringing on agents. We have 2 agents that are investors in our company that are friends of mine, and they were clients of mine, and they got it. But the problem is now too, is that affiliated business arrangements, a lot of brokers and a lot of big corporate ones especially don't want agents investing in our platform because there's a conflict. And that's one of the things we have come up with before. So we probably could scale this without the money. So we just went to market. So we'll see how our market goes. Does that answer your question?
We would need more time. I don't understand where the conflict is of somebody investing in it. They don't have to be an affiliate. They could just invest in it.
There are some conflicts. I can't explain that, but I could definitely go offline with
you.
So
that raises
and show
a
it to
big
you.
flag. Then that raises a big flag of, again, we don't have time. If there are conflicts, then all of a sudden it's like, well, then again, I don't know your business. If then there's these issues there, then I sit there and wonder, ooh.
Well, the only issue is that agents being your investors. as far as the product goes, it's awesome.
No, I don't understand. Again, we don't have the time on it. I just don't understand why agent investing in this is a conflict.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, this is Harvey. Yeah, I have the same question. Why there is a conflict? It looks to me it's a very good idea, but I think there should not be any issue to investing in your company.
It depends on who you're marketing to. And all I'm saying is that there's RESPA laws, there's Department of Real Estate laws, there's affiliated business arrangements. Like, for example, I'll just give you an example. A title company is really restricted. Oh, 1 minute left. Okay. Want to go on to another question? Because this is a complex question.
It's probably an important one. So you have to think it. So there's ways then to get, could a family member, the spouse of an agent, invest in it? You know, I mean, you just.
Yeah, I think that would be okay. It's just, we ran into this with a broker already, and they have affiliated business arrangements. And yes, we could go through all the hurdles through a big corporation to make sure it's okay. But we had managers wanting to invest in our company, but because of their affiliation with their broker, they had a conflict. And it's not our conflict, it's their conflict. I don't know, Patrick, am I not explaining this?
It is a very bizarre situation. It's not something that we expected either. And so it's just something that whatever the broker in question, that they have their legal team, I guess, advised them again. They don't want their, anyway, it's a very specific issue. And it's something I think long-term we can work around. And again, I don't think this limits our investment opportunity per se in the long term.
Time is up.
Hello, my name is Misha Barshak, and I'm the founder and CEO of Shreddit. I have a question for you. When's the last time you've done something that required all of your attention, strength, courage, agility, and precision all at the same time? Well, in skateboarding, these are traits that have to be used on a regular basis all the time. And I've been skateboarding for over 21 years, and I've noticed a few amazing qualities that I'd like to share with you. First of all is the satisfaction of learning a trick and thinking of it and actually creating it right underneath your feet. It's like magic. The second thing is perseverance, falling down and getting back up again. This is a trait that is quite amazing for all skateboarders that are practicing tricks. And I've actually adopted this trait and I put it in, applied it to many parts of my life. The third is community. I feel as if every time I go around in the world, I see other skaters, and there's that strong bond between skateboarders, which is a one-of-a-kind community. Now, I also have an interest for communities and cultures, and this is why I decided to go to UC Santa Cruz, and I got my bachelor's in cultural anthropology. And from that point, I decided to meld my passion of skateboarding along with my interest in communities, and the result is Shreddit. Now, Shreddit is a skateboarding app that gives all skateboarders the tools and resources to be able to thrive in their skateboarding community. Now, I've told you a little bit about myself already, but I also started a skateboarding school where I taught for over 5 years, and I created an app, a previous skateboarding app that got over 50,000 downloads, and I created over 120,000 followers on social media accounts for it. Now, the current problem in the marketplace for skateboarding apps is that, first of all, most of the games out there are just video games. The apps need definitely some kind of revitalization where they actually have to physically learn how to skateboard and promote the movement and exercise of it. The second problem is most of skateboarding apps out there are single function use, meaning they only have the use of a skate map, or they only show tutorials, but nothing that puts them all together into one. And lastly there's no main central hub for skateboarders to come to and unite together. And this is where Shreddit comes in. We put all these tools together and also adding in a GPS where skaters can find each other, along with social media aspects where they're able to post all their skate videos to each other and meet each other. But the main secret sauce of what we're creating is the cornerstone, which is the game of skate. Now, what is a game of skate? Let me tell you. It's just like playing a game of horse in basketball, except on a skateboard. So if we're playing together, if I do a kickflip, then you must land the kickflip. If you do not land it, you get the letter S. And this keeps going back and forth until one player gets all 5 letters SKATE, where that player loses and the other player wins. But it's not about winning and losing. It's about creating that bond, that new relationship with a new potential friend. And another important thing about the game of skate, it's the most recognized game of skate for all skateboarders in the world. And it helps build consistency for the skater within skateboarding, but also in life. Now, our go-to-market strategy is, first of all, to promote to our already acquired 120,000 followers, along with cross-promoting with partners that we have that have over a reach of 1.1 million followers. And next, we are going to be implementing our Shreddit watermark on our compilation videos for the game of skate. So when skaters play it, they can download it and then share it on other social media platforms, which will bring the word out about Shreddit. And we will have an ambassador program and sponsored advertising. And our sponsored advertising, we plan on working with only companies that are environmentally conscious and want to give back to the environment through carbon credits or through growing trees for all skateboards that are created. Let me give you some statistics. So there's about 6.4 million skateboarders in the US and 85 million worldwide. And in 2018, it was about a $1.94 billion market. And it's estimated to be a $2.4 billion market by 2025, along with this year being the first year that skateboarding is going to be debuting in the Olympics, which is very exciting. And our target is all skateboarders, including not just trick skateboarders, but longboarders and cruisers. And also skaters that used to skateboard and they want to start again. This will also help them come back. And also people that are thinking about starting a new individual sport and haven't decided what to start, this will be the nudge for them. Our projection is to grow at a 500% yearly rate until we get to 1 million users within 5 years. And our projection for our future growth is that we will be adding in other board niches, for example, like snowboarding, surfing, and wakeboarding, and rolling out with more features, which will also help build the brand and profits, and potentially also repurposing skate parks that are thrown away currently and finding a new home for them. We do have some competition like Skate U app, but none of them bring all these amazing components into one flawless app. Our business model consists of currently 4 revenue streams. First being the subscription, secondly, advertising, third, affiliate sponsors, and fourth, merchandise. And we plan on having 23% of our revenue come from merchandise, 27% from ads, and affiliate sponsors, 16%, and mostly coming from our subscription. So continuing on, which is 32%. And our earnings, we project that with 50,000 users, we are going to have a minimum of profit of 28,000 for the first
3 minutes
year.
left.
Excuse me?
3 minutes left.
Yeah. So 28,000 to 97,000 within the first year. Second year, 722,000 to 1.6 million, and third year, 2.5 million to 7 million on the third year. And who's going to actually make this happen? Well, our team, of course. We have an amazing team, which is me as the CEO, and we have our backend developer, Victor Matanovsky, and he's created other niche apps, like for the colorblind and restaurant ordering. We also have our marketing director, Brandon Lebowitz, which has worked with other top skateboarding companies and has been skateboarding for over 20 years. And our creative assistant, Kat Flowers, which has an MA in interdisciplinary art and has created a dance company, has a great vision for where we're going. Our accomplishments, we're actually going to be launching our beta app in August, and we're very excited for that. And we have 100 testers lined up for it, with also 13,000 email lists from our previous app. And we recently filed our trademark in February, and we are partnered with a nonprofit called Poseidon Foundation, which are amazing. But we're gonna need some help. We're planning on fundraising and raising $250,000 in order to have a 2-year runway through donations, crowdfunding, and grants. And we're gonna use this for our product development, for our marketing, inventory, and rental of office and warehouse for these future years. And we're first going to be focusing on stability of our product, and then we're going to be adding in features. And for the next year following that, we're going to be adding in merchandise and continuing expanding our user base. And our exit strategy is to potentially sell to a company that holds our values for $700 million, or continuing to acquire also products to add to our portfolio. But ultimately, we plan on creating a foundation to help the environment and other communities around the world. Now, this app also helps alleviate stress, because current times is kind of hard for people to skate, and this app really helps bring together the community and give a feeling of camaraderie, which is amazing. And you might think that skateboarding is just a bunch of ankle-breaking kids, but it's grown into something much, much more than that. It's a culturally rich community that's ready to thrive. This app gives them all the tools that they need to have all the resources that they would want and to create friendships. So come on with us and let's go shred it. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Nice job, Misha. All right. So we now have 5 minutes for the judges to ask questions.
Sure.
Gathering their thoughts.
I'm embarrassed. I don't have any connection to the skateboard industry, Misha. So I'm sorry, and I'm trying to get connected with the use case, and since a lot of it is really driven about community, right? I don't have the connection that but it seemed, I would just say this, I don't have a good sense of how I guess I'm not sure. Is this is more like a community? Is that what we're trying to do here? Just like a community? Because so you have these different things. You have this game, you have this community, you have it, and I'm not sure what the net of this is as a business.
I mean, the business would be, it's a social media app.
That's okay.
For skateboarders to be able to connect with each other, find other skateboarders around them, but also have the tools that, like, for example, right now they're clogging up their phones with all these different apps that do different things with single function. This actually brings it all together into one, along with giving them the game of skate, which is actually a game which is played everywhere, and there's professional games happening where skaters are winning hundreds of thousands of dollars for winning one game of skate.
No, I saw that at the beginning when you explained that the analogy is to horse. I got that.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess here's my comment to you would be this. apps are like, it's really super hard to make a viable business from an app. I mean, you talk a business that is super hard to create and make sustainable, it's the app business, right? Because it's so easy for people to create apps. The challenge with apps is how do you get people to pay for it? How do you get people to continue to pay for it? You know, how do you have really low acquisition costs? And
Right. That's why I mentioned that I created another skateboarding app, and I already have the user base, and and I already have partnerships with other companies that would also be promoting it. So I don't think that would be difficult for me to actually get them on it. And I've actually asked many skateboarders along the way what kind of features they would like in a skateboarding app. And about 6 out of 10 of them wanted to be able to play a game of skate with other people. So this feature alone of playing this game is the glue that brings everyone in.
And again, I'm sorry that I don't have, like, I was never a skateboarder, so I can't even connect to it, you know?
Okay, well, what sport have you played basketball before?
Yeah, but my main sport was ice hockey.
Okay, so if there was some kind of social media app that allowed you to play some kind of ice hockey game with other people, would that be something that you can connect with?
Yeah, but I guess I don't want to. There's only so much time left on this thing. I just is that, you know, I guess just apps. I'm inherently for my apps that just, you know, I'm just trying to figure where's the real revenue coming through here, and
yeah. What is it?
Where's the real revenue going to come through this?
Where's the revenue coming from? Okay, so I stated that in the presentation, but
I didn't pick it up though, man.
That's fine. So the revenue comes from ads. So there'll be ads in the app, first of all. Second of all, the subscriptions. So it's going to be a simple subscription for $1.99, and that subscription is going to allow them to not have limitations on the app, along with not having ads to watch. So they're going to be incentivized not just by new features that they're going to have by having a subscription, but also not having ads, just like many apps that are out there now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that type of business model is like super hard. The app business model of $1.99 is like super hard. By the way, $1.99, that, you know, what's Apple Music is like $9.99, you know, like that $1.99 relative to like $9.99 and all those other things, like a pretty expensive, you know, thing. Anyhow, I enough said on my side.
Okay, well, I appreciate your question. Thank you very much.
My concern is like you are targeting a very limited community. It's not a widespread that everybody can use. I mean, I'm not a skater, so I have no interest. But like, you know, main thing is when you have very limited target community, it's hard to raise or make money. So also you mentioned you need a warehouse. Why do you need a warehouse?
It would be an office and space to hold our merchandise. We're not going to hold our merchandise at home.
But do you guys doing doing an app, right? And
yes, it's a mobile app. Correct.
You can do everything online.
Yeah, that's true. But
main thing is why you need a warehouse.
It would be to have space, but I mean, it doesn't have to be a full an office with space for our inventory.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. We are Segura Enterprise, where our motto is lighting the way to a brighter future. Our business is in public safety, and we want to engage in this with innovative technologies into stagnant markets, markets that haven't seen innovation in decades. We want to provide additional methods to ensure the safety of first responders and pedestrians. Today, we're going to have three presenters from left to right, myself, David Segura, Daniel Maldonado, and Zachary Murillo. The rest of our team is Josiah, David, Carlos, and Mario. Now let's talk about our problem. I'd like to start with a question. Have you ever been in a situation where you're driving your car, you have your music playing, and all of a sudden a large red fire truck is trying to get around you? You pull over to the right as quickly as you can. The people in front of you are doing the same, and it can be a very fast and confusing situation. Well, therein lies the problem. A confusing situation slows down that fire truck. It leaves drivers and pedestrians more prone to accidents, and that's not to mention the one who called that fire truck anxiously awaiting its arrival. In 2018, 168 people died in crashes involving emergency vehicles, with 74% of that being multiple car collisions. And according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 6,500 ambulances see accidents every year, which can be directly tied to their need to get to their destination as quickly as possible. So what's our solution? Project Light the Way, with our rapid response pavement markers. These pavement markers are going to give drivers and pedestrians a preemptive warning of an oncoming emergency vehicle. It's going to do this by using software technology to activate when in proximity to an emergency vehicle, and they're going to be placed on the roads similar to other pavement markers, so we're not reinventing the wheel. Now, really quick, to further illustrate my solution, I'd like to show a quick product demo. Cross your fingers. Pretty good. Oh, nice, bro. By the way, really mandatory overtime right now. You know, it's like, it's like, the rapid response pavement markers allowed them to pull over before an emergency vehicle got too close. Now let's quickly go over a product overview, starting with software.
Hi, I'm Zachary, and I'll be going over the software infrastructure today. Next slide. So our design utilizes a smart dummy model, where one marker, the smart marker, is responsible for server requests, while the other markers, the dummy markers, will only be responsible for responding to these smart marker signals. Now, the layout on the road will be one smart marker for every 4 dummy markers, and both markers will be identical on the outside, but only differ in their programming. But the reason for this design choice is that it cuts the amount of requests to the web server by 5, and the actual data transferred from the web server to the smart markers is kept a simple binary code to keep it limited. Next slide. Now, this cycle shows the data flow between the smart markers and the mentioned web server. It begins with a request to the web server from the smart marker, with the marker sending its unique identification. Now, upon receiving the smart marker's request, the server validates the unique ID and sends the bit signal in response. Finally, the smart marker receives the bit signal and lights each corresponding marker, including itself, with every one indicating an enabled marker. In the background of this cycle, the server backend calculates the enable signals for each marker. It uses the vehicle's past and current location and checks the marker database for which markers are within range of that. The smart and dummy markers are grouped together for easier generation of these signals. And that is how we'll be communicating between the web server and each marker on the ground. Now we'll be going into hardware.
Hello. Hello?
You're good.
All right. Hello, my name is Daniel, and I will be going over the inner workings and possible future versions of the marker. Next slide.
Can you lean into your yeah, there we go.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. As of today, the paper marker itself is in its pre-alpha stage, with most of its components being consumer-based. The current hardware contains a solar panel, battery pack, microcontroller, LED components, printed circuit board, and an outer shell. The software inside the microcontroller is responsible for controlling the rate at the time which LEDs operate. The battery itself outputs a 3.7 to 4.5 volts, which is needed to sustain the microcontroller for an extended period of time. While not in use, the battery pack recharges itself from the solar panel to prevent degradation. The shell is expected to protect the inner workings from potential damage as well. Next slide. And future versions allow the alpha version is expected to have a single source battery pack along with a higher capacity LEDs. The battery itself would need to be rechargeable as well, outputting a minimum of 4.5 volts to sustain the marker. PCB components will be needed to be rated for temperature resistance, output capacity, and durability.
Now let's go over our business model. Our target audience are municipalities with high response times. For example, Riverside, California, with a 9-minute average for ambulance response times, where the average is 8 minutes. The value we bring are easily incorporable devices that can be placed in most cities' infrastructures. How we make money is primarily through city financing, but also through a subscription model that allows us to keep our maintenance on our hardware and our software technologies. And our growth is to become a standard in municipalities. And I'd like to go over that growth a little more in detail. In year one, we want to begin demonstrating and testing to a small number of cities, less than 5 at this point. In year two, we want to focus on converting a few of those cities into buyers. And by year 3, we want to repeat the process, but we want to expand and demonstrate to more, 10 or more cities. And by year 4, we want to utilize the data we've collected and our stronger consumer base to lessen our sales cycle and get buyers faster. Our go-to-market strategy is to focus on municipalities with high response times. Riverside, California is a great example. We want to utilize data to market our product. We want to show that we're reducing response times, reducing accidents, and reducing tragedies. We want to penetrate the market with a standardized and easy to implement product. And we want to lead each of our sales cycle with a demonstration or pilot so municipalities know exactly what they're getting. Very quickly, our competitive analysis, we have many indirect competitors, but with a quick pivot, they can easily become direct competitors.
3
One of
minutes.
them has, sorry?
3 minutes left.
Got it. Self-sustaining markers, one of them has this. It's a solar marker, a solar panel on top of a paver marker. First responder integration, only 2 companies have this, but none of them are pursuing this market forward, and we're the only ones with integrated software in our product. So what makes us different? They have raised paver markers, they have solar markers, and they have technology to activate their paver markers. But we have software integration, which allows us to activate our paver markers automatically. We have self-sustaining paver markers. They charge and power themselves, and they're easily adaptable into current municipality systems. Our customer validation, we are going to begin piloting a version of the project in Riverside, California, with the senior traffic engineer, Nathan Mustafa, once we meet safety regulations, of course. The previous mayor of Riverside, California, Rusty Bailey, stated that it's applicable and it could save lives in direct response to a showcase we had of our software showing the connection between our paver markers and a first responding vehicle. And our software receives coverage from the Riverside Unified School District's YouTube page as well. Really quick, our financial projections. In year 1, we want to sell 1,800 units. Every city ranges in size and scope, so this number is definitely going to vary. That will bring us a revenue of about $113,000 with a cost of goods sold of approximately $10,000 due to outsourcing. And finally, with operating expenses being $360,000, that will give us a net negative in our first year. But if we go back to our growth strategy, by year 2, we're converting more cities into buyers, and this only goes greater by year 4. Finally, for our milestones and plans, in the past, we've had multiple demonstrations, we've built a stronger team, and we've had a lot of good customer validation. Right now, we're working on finishing our final model and working on product safety regulation, meeting the standards by the Manual Unified Traffic Control Devices Committee. And in the future, we want to begin our demonstration with Riverside, California, and get in contact with more municipalities. Thank you. Any questions?
All right, excellent job, guys. Well done. So now we have 5 minutes for the judges to ask any questions they have.
So question they had here about, could you go flip back a couple slides where you had us and them? So, okay, right there. So the software integration, are you saying them, if I guess maybe go one page backwards, right? You know, the first responder integrated. So how does lane light and traffic signals do first responder integrated if they are not software based?
What I mean by software integration is we're automatically reacting to first respondents. And the way that lane light works and traffic signs works is it's directly connected to the vehicle. It does use software, but that software is only connected to one first responder, while our integrated software works with all the first responders, or rather all the ones that the dispatch chooses to attach that to. So they're a very linear software. Maybe I should have said that a bit better. They
So
do
you're
have
saying
software,
it's a
but it's
vehicle
not
that's coming out.
integrated.
So it's
Sorry?
it's a vehicle that's driving around. It's communicating with the signals on the other people, whereas you're not having the vehicle communicate. You're having something between the vehicles communicating to some system, and the system's communicating to the devices. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Why is that better?
It's better because it allows vehicles to activate with any of our paver markers wherever they are. And it also allows dispatch to choose what vehicle gets it at any certain given time. If the vehicle goes through a tough, dense area, they can activate our software on that vehicle so it interacts with those paver markers. And that can be done with the dispatch instead of at house with lane light where they have to get the vehicle code and put it in themselves.
Okay. I think I had some background. I spent 10 years at Siemens in building a factory automation. Okay, so the other question is, how are you going to get, you have any patentable IP? It's a clever, interesting thing, but if you don't have something patentable and that you can put a boundary around, once you've got market proof, somebody's just going to just take your idea and do it themselves. So how do you defend yourself?
We're currently patent pending our rapid response paver marker. We're going to file a continuation in part to cover more of the product because we left a few things out as we continue developing it. But we are patent pending at the moment.
Yeah, but patent pending doesn't mean anything. I mean, I can patent pending anything. But do you have an opinion from an attorney? Do you have an opinion from an attorney yet about their belief that you'll actually get this patented? Do you actually have a patent lawyer involved?
We did have a patent lawyer involved, yes, when we got the patent pending status.
And they believe it's a highly likelihood that you'll be able to get it patented?
They helped us out throughout the process.
Okay. Well, that's the key thing I would say that is that, and you just got to have like really, and like a strong patent attorney. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's a clever, neat idea. But if somebody can replicate this, the big boys, like you got 3M right there in the middle. 3M will replicate this thing in a minute. But clever idea. I love your idea of what you're trying to do to save lives, improve response. It's very, very, very nifty. My biggest concern is protection of the business.
Absolutely, and rightfully so.
No, I don't have any question. I think it's a brilliant idea. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. My name is Alexis Mata. I have Daniel Patton and Tomas Cortez presenting here with me today. We are Campus Buddy. Your college experience starts here. So let's take you on a journey of the modern student. Do you remember your first day at CSUMB or any other university you may have attended? The thoughts you had, the feelings you had? I was a new student at Sac State and CSUMB, and both gave me the same feelings. Orientation felt overwhelming. By the end of the day, I couldn't remember what buildings were which. I remember planning the night before so I wouldn't be on the wrong side of campus when showing up to my first class. I didn't want to have that lost and confused look, especially on the first day of school. Next slide. So what are the top concerns? You're new to a campus, you may not know anyone, so how do you meet people? Where do you go? Google Maps only shows you so much. What do? How do I find events, clubs to join, or valuable resources like job fairs on campus? And after interviewing students, that's exactly what we found out from students we spoke to. It's always stressful going somewhere new alone, or it's hard getting around campus. With Campus Buddy, that's what we strive for, to provide for students not only at CSUMB, but across the states. How are we different, you ask? There are platforms out there, and here are some that we came across. There are platforms out there that have features similar to ours, but not integrated into one system. Cal Poly app has no turn-by-turn navigation system, has a campus map, but the campus map is outdated. Navigate Student, you can sync class schedules, but feels more like a web page. Find My Class has integrated maps, is on 15 plus campuses, but lacks the ability to take you straight to your classroom and lacks marketing efforts. And as for Facebook Campus, it's just a platform where you can socialize with peers.
So Campus Buddy is a single platform to connect and enhance students to the college experience. We have a turn-by-turn navigation system that will take you straight to your classroom. And to add value to existing students, we offer mental health resources, a variety of events, and effective communication between students and professors.
So the three services that we actually provide are the mapping services, which uses a 360-degree camera in all the buildings. We've got the integration services that actually integrate with the university systems for the calendar and the one-touch mapping system. And as well as that, we develop the community with the students. So is there a market for Campus Buddy? That's the main question. And from our research, we've actually found that 56% of students are actually lonely, and 82% of them feel that the pandemic has actually affected that decision. And 96% are stressed, and that's no new thing. Everybody knows that students are stressed, and 70% are anxious. And from the universities that we've actually researched, we've found that 33% of them felt that the communities were actually underdeveloped. 100% obviously support the well-being of students, and 66% are worried about the future of the mental health of the student community. And from the numbers perspective, we've actually got CSUMB, which has 7,000 students currently, and we've got over 1,350 acres of land to be mapped. We've got a graduation rate, which is pretty good, and we've got over 45% of them are actually residents on the campus halls, which adds pressure to the universities. And moving on from that, if we're looking forward on the national scale, we're talking about 20 million students each year, which is 3.2 million, which are new each year. As well as that, we've got the 33.3% graduate rate, which should be, 50, 60%. We've got the average students, which are 6,422 per campus. We've got 40% of students are actually residents. And I know what you're asking, what does this mean? So when there's growing need in an already developed market, the growth potential is significantly higher than creating new and niche markets. Where research shows that we're currently not only solving a problem for the students, but also helping universities achieve their goals. With the pandemic affecting social interaction and leading to a plague of mental health conditions, there's a need for a community in there as we develop all these young adults into being future leaders of tomorrow. So we can safely conclude, that the time to build the college community is now. So how does it work? What exactly do we do to get it so good? So our process moving forward and currently is we're currently in the development phase. So we're currently still developing the app and business plan to refine it to ensure it meets everyone's needs. and then we'll move on to the prospecting. So we're developing leads through all the interviewing and getting to know the students, the universities, and that way we can lead to the growth. Moving forward, we have a registration on our page, and that allows students to actually apply to the universities and to us to actually go to the universities, and that helps our sales process as well. So I'm going to pass you on to Thomas now, and he's going to speak to you about what our app currently is, thanks to the iOS students in CSUMB.
Here we have a sneak peek of our currently developed app, or our app that's currently being developed. On the left, we have the buildings and the mapping that we provide. And then here we have our integration of our calendar and classrooms, as well as our campus resources.
All right, so I know you're thinking, what about the nitty-gritty? How do we actually make money from this app?
3 minutes left.
Yeah.
3 minutes left.
3 minutes. All right, okay, no problem. So we've got the university mapping fee, which is charged by square meters, which is about the university campuses because it integrates with Google systems. We've got the maintenance as well, which universities can actually provide on their own. We don't have to provide that. The universities can do that. And the premium as well. So when a student actually wants to sponsor, the party or something, they can do that for $7.99 per event. If there's an election or something, you can sponsor that on the app directly to students. And onto the numbers, we've got a revenue forecast, which is based on, in the first year, we'll have CSUMB. In the second year, we'll develop the business plan. And in the third year, we'll move it out to different universities in California. And in our cost forecast, we'll actually see the numbers. It's a high cost originally because of the maintenance of all the or the purchase of all the servers and everything. And moving on from there, we've actually got developing the net profit as well.
Thank you for your time today. This is our team: Alexis Mata, the CEO, me, Tomas Cortez, CFO, Andre Ferguson, CMO, and Dan Patton, COO.
All right. Thank you very much. Good job, guys. Well done. And we now have 5 minutes for the judges to do their Q&A.
Guys, it seems like you got multiple different businesses here. One is you got this mapping business, right? And that almost seems like that's like a one and done or a short time. Like after a while, people get to know a campus, they get to know around things. But you got that piece. And that seems to be that's something that can and will continue to get, lots of players out there and already. And then you have this promoting event thing. And so where I'm having this grasp around, they seem to like two different things, right? And they don't even seem to be needed together. So why are you putting them together?
Yeah, that's a really good point, and that's exactly where we've went with the business. We started out as a mapping business, and we've developed that based on the customer responses that actually want a community, because you've got Facebook, that's fair enough, but how do you actually get to know new friends and everything? And we found that the community actually wanted a space to actually communicate with people and stuff. It'll be nice to have the mapping and everything, but from what we found from the customers and the students that we interviewed is that actually what they want as well is that all integrated into one app is just simply a way to communicate with other students.
Yeah, but it just, again, as you think about it, it just seems like a really complex thing of having two dissimilar businesses. One is an enterprise sale that you got to sell to a university, right? And you have all this technology in it. And the other is a B2C business, right? in that business. So I just would just say it just seems operationally complex.
Yeah, it is. It is very much operationally complex, and it does cost a lot to develop the app the way it is. But what we're missing in life at the minute, it's like a futuristic view. You want to look forward and imagine, take a step in the student's view for a moment, in the modern day student, and imagine that you're joining a university, which it's not only your map, which it started out as, but it's a way that you can actually, see what's going on around you.
Yeah. Okay.
And just to touch up on what Dan was saying, the initial idea came with the mapping services, right? So I mean, the first year, you have all these new and transfer students using this application, but after the second year, they might know the campus already. So we wanted to add value to them by to existing students by providing them with resources like with events that are going on around campus, such as job fairs or where to go to eat, and that's where the whole event thing comes from as well.
Yeah, I have a question. But so far it means that there's nothing available from the university side, that how the university communicate with the students for the new events or the classes and all those things.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally integrated into the business plan. So we are pretty much a student union. We are a union of students. So we focus our relations on the students, and the students as customers of the university pressure the university into actually purchasing, if for example, as we mentioned before, on the website or the app, if it's not in your campus already, you can register for that.
Petition.
And exactly. And if you, as moving forward, when you're paying for, when we're going to the universities in order to sell the product to them, we can then say to them that we've got this amount of students already wanting this service in your school.
30 seconds left.
So it means at this point there's nothing is available to facilitate or to inform the students.
Well, of course, you've got email, but it's the modern day student has like 100 emails per second.
I see.
That's a rough estimate, but you'll get what I mean. You've got so many emails that a notification on your phone from a different company is a lot better for the student in order to engage them.
Okay, thank you.
Cool, I'm gonna go. So my name is Pete Bigham. I'm a 20+ year entrepreneur, and I am the CEO and one of the co-founders of Black Site Solutions, Inc. We are a Delaware corporation operating out of Watsonville, California, right here on the Central Coast. And we'll get right into the problem. As soon as I hit the button. The internet is inherently insecure, and that is because it was designed for something that it is not being used for currently, and that's public use. And this inherent flaw has enabled tons of data breaches, IP theft from nation states, as well as organized crime, and it has become an existential threat. And cybercrime is expected to cost the world $10.5 trillion annually by 2025. The solution is to become invisible, and then you become secure. And at Black Site Solutions, Inc., we offer best-of-breed products and services that analyze and secure your networks and are backed by industry-proven and battleground-tested technologies from top global companies. We offer security as a service, threat intelligence, data and device protection, as well as government contracting services. And that's because you can't hack what you can't see. Our market size validation, the US cybersecurity market size is expected to be about $167 billion by the end of the year. with a 10.9% annual growth rate, and that comes out to about 372 by 2028. And that's due to the increasing amount of cyber attacks from nation states and again from organized crime. There is a growing need among organizations to minimize their security risks because of all the data breaches that are costing them billions of dollars. There's an increased number of IoT devices. I believe there's statistics out there that show about 80 to 90% of all IoT devices are actually insecure. There's a huge penetration of smartphones in the industry. Malware is just sneaking in on all the app stores. And then into the next bullet point, increasing demand for enterprise mobility. So as enterprises go more and more mobile, the bullet point before becomes a huge threat vector. And then where hacking and malware were once principally for fun, like when I was getting into it in high school, ransomware and cryptocurrency have made it highly profitable for not only nation states, but also mafia. So our business model is fairly simple. Blacksite Solutions, Inc., we offer products, services, and integration on a wide variety of different information security products. We mostly use consumer off-the-shelf technologies, or COTS. And then as new threats come about, we actually go out and source new products and services for our clientele. Our current and future customers are in the aerospace, education, enterprise, financial, law enforcement, legal, military, and startups industries. Our average monthly cost per user is around $66 a month. The average hardware cost for the different types of hardware that we sell is about $999. The average cost yearly for threat intelligence is around $75,000 a year. And our projected gross income by 2023 is around $375 million. And that's due to large projects, global projects that we are involved in, some of which we can discuss, some of which we can't, and then $675 million by 2025. Competition is getting thicker, and that is based off of all the threats that we went over in the previous slides. And that is due to literally on the daily, you can go into the news and you're going to see tons and tons of threats, risks, and data breaches on a daily basis. But because we are very custom to our clientele, we don't get them like the larger names you see in the bottom right that really get you into their product line and you're kind of stuck in their products, whether they have bugs or not, you're stuck. We offer solutions that are very customized and agile. Our advantages are very simple: scalable technology, very easy to use. Again, we offer that custom product fit at a very affordable price. And then we help our customers save money, especially on cyber insurance. Many of the tools that our clients can actually help companies save money on cyber insurance because it protects them. And then we have very strong branding for the target demographics that we are going after. Our marketing, we've actually already sponsored multiple events in the legal sector and are going now into other vertical markets that we are marketing into. We have some really great partners. We have done some co-branding and marketing campaigns with them already, and we are in the process of building more campaigns with some of our newer partners. Our advertising marketing is online for the most part, but we will be going into print magazines for the military and law enforcement industries, as well as reaching into digital out of home, which is also known as digital signage. Our founding team, many of our founding team members have worked together on multiple startups. We have acquisitions under our belt and years of experience working for Fortune 100 and 500 companies. We also have 8 employees in different areas of the company: security, sales, dev, and marketing. And then we have a growing list of advisors and mentors, which include top executives in academia, industry, and government. We also have our own products in development. The portable encrypted network server, or PENS device, actually already went through the SBIR's TAPS Accelerator program in Dayton, Ohio. It was virtual this past year. And that is an emergency communication device on an encrypted USB drive. There's the cellular-based wireless where Secure Portable Server, or WASPs. These products are geared towards military and law enforcement, but that offers you a high-speed cellular encrypted internet anywhere, and then also can be used as a failover if your hardline internet goes off. We also have a drone prototype we are in development on, and that is for delivering data that is encrypted at rest, i.e. encrypted hard drives delivered directly to a corporation's doorstep. We also have a blockchain authenticator that's been in development since 2016. And our latest product is BlackSite VC, which is a secure blockchain investment platform for aerospace and security. Here's a list of all of our trusted partners. We can go over more of those. Our largest is Vernetics. We work with them directly and have since actually before BlackSite was incorporated in March of last year. And we actually have been working with them to develop out their product. They just won the largest patent lawsuit on record against Apple. They have another one on Cisco that's making its way through the US Supreme Court. Noteworthy projects we are involved with, the BlackSite ISAO. We were introduced to the ISAO group, which was created under President Obama executive order and Department of Homeland Security initiative through Vernetics. They asked us to set up a startup. I'm sorry?
3 minutes left.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so we have the startup ISAO. It's already stood up. We are in the process of getting ready to launch that with an estimated revenue about 35 million annually. The Monterey Bay Regional Spaceport, which has been around since 2013, I've been involved with it since its inception. It has grown in the past 2 months to 18 global spaceports. Monterey alone is projected to be $250 billion in the 25-year plan. Yaya Smart Cities, which are located at a very similar to the Fort Ord reuse in Puerto Rico on the Roosevelt Roads Naval Base. And that's expected to be a $10 billion project. Split between both Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, and we will be securing the spaceports as well as the Yaya's infrastructure. And then Hubavari, which is a last mile drone logistics company that went through Singularity University and NVIDIA Accelerator and is making headway. We will be working with them to secure their drone platform. Our funding, we are looking for 3 years of funding at $33 million plus 6.28 in digital currency. And that is to basically hire out top talent, expand our company globally, huge increase in marketing and operations, and then build out our team in product development. This is definitely a no-fail mission, and we are ready to go. And in closing, we got some great news. I can't discuss the total amount, but we found out this Monday that we secured just shy of our first year's funding requirements, and we'll be doing a press release in the next few weeks once that is solidified. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Pete, for your presentation.
Thank you.
We'll now go into Q&A with the judges.
All righty.
Judges, any questions?
I didn't see anything about current revenue. So is, so you're asking for $30 million, right? But you're not saying what you're doing in revenue already.
Yeah, we are we have done a friends and family round. We've raised 60K so far out of 100K. We're working on closing an additional 20K before that next funding comes in. We have very minimal revenue right now, but based off the LOIs that we have on these billion-dollar projects, that is how the funding is coming through. And the funding is actually coming through one of the partners that was listed on the partner page because they are interested in acquiring BlackSite to become their security wing of their business.
Okay, so you hardly have any revenue and somebody wants to acquire you. Do you have anything?
Yes.
But most of the stuff you're doing seems to like it's integration.
Yes, but the products that we're working on and much of that large multi-million-dollar projected revenue is based off of multiple data centers our company will be building for the spaceport network, which again is up to 18 spaceports, as well as the 2 smart cities, which are currently under development. Many of the projects are also tied to the current stimulus plan coming from the US government. Did it freeze?
No, we're still here.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
We still have time for a few more questions, Tim or Harvey, if you have any.
So, I mean, you don't have any revenue. How you will get the funding?
It's through one of our partners. Like I said, basically, there's some things I can discuss, some things I can't because of clearance levels and stuff like that. But basically, they're looking to acquire the team as well as the 5 products that we discussed in the product slide deck.
Okay.
Or are the products patented?
Not yet, currently.
Okay. I will just tell you candidly, just for whatever it's worth, because we're supposed to give you feedback, it's not all going to be favorable. It can be favorable, it can be unfavorable. I'm finding it really, my mind is kind of getting stretched on this. You have no products built, you have no patented products, you have no revenue, you don't have any projects sold, and somebody wants to give you, which was your first year funding was like $10 million?
Roughly.
Yeah, and and most of the time when we ask questions, your answer is you can't tell us. So
yeah, I'm under many
I'm really
NDAs.
stretched on this one, man. I'm really stretched.
That's fine. That's appreciative. Yeah, I'm under multiple non-disclosures that I.
Why are you at a pitch? Why are you at a pitch contest if there's so much secret? Because it's normally at a pitch contest, it's the opposite.
Yeah, I know. I honestly, I saw the pitch thing, and it had been years since I was involved, and I just decided to go. And then I literally have been going back and forth with our partner on funding, and because they had wanted interest in the long term. I'm in this for 25 to 50 years. I've already been involved, like I said, with the spaceport since 2013, and that's a multi-billion-dollar project. Got my foot in the door and have continued to grow with it. Again, working with Vernetics, which just got $1 billion from Apple. We work highly close with Vernetics on building out their UI and UX on their app. I'm sorry?
30 seconds left.
Yeah, no problem. I know it's hard. There's many things I can't talk about, and we do have very minimal revenue right now. But based off of the large projects that we've been working on for many years, and this is before I even started Black Site, that's kind of where we're at.
Time's up.
All right, cool.
All
Thank you
right.
very much for everyone's time.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm always ready to pitch.
All
My
right.
name is Russell Cole. Nice to meet everybody. I'm the founder of Exactly Crop Insights, and we're a company that provides informatics to agriculture and farmers around the world with a focus in Salinas Valley currently. We focus on the salad bowl crops like broccoli, cauliflower, and lettuce, and we're helping farmers reduce their crop losses and improve their yield. I'm going to click on the screen here. Now, there's a really large problem in this space. I've been in the ag tech space for about 4 years. Every single farmer that I've spoken to has said very similar things to me about being very difficult to track yields and really not just track yields, to track improvements of yields and precisely pinpoint them, pinpoint those improvements to specific technologies. Whereas right now there's roughly 50,000 salad bowl crop farmers in the United States. About 20% of all crops aren't even harvested that could have been harvested, and that's a $1 billion problem. That means they're losing roughly 20% of all their crops before they even harvest their fields. There have to be reasons for this, and at the end of the day, all farmers really want is for there to be as many plants in the ground as possible. And that's where Exactly comes in to help. Exactly flies drones with imaging sensors over fields, collects images of crops, and then runs a proprietary algorithm of those images so that we can actually count how many crops are in every single field. This helps farmers understand exactly how many plants above or below target they have so that they can raise awareness of this metric across their organization and for their productivity to continue to improve. Our early adopters that are working with us in California have experienced double-digit productivity growth, and they're incredibly thankful, which I'll get to in the presentation. This is what our crop counting actually looks like on our screen internally. I share this with you as I would with a farmer, because we are often asked, how do you precisely count every crop? How is this different than walking 60 feet of an acre, which is the traditional approach to counting crops, where farmers walk 60 feet, they count the crops, and then they extrapolate across the entire acre. Our technology counts every single crop. And when we show images like this, it's very definite to a farmer for them to accept that, we really are doing what we say we are doing. Our secret sauce is in our counting algorithms. As you can see in the image, our algorithm is running on an image where it lightens the image, it erodes the image with a custom filter. It then detects the crops, we call blob detection. We then further erode, further detect, merge some neighbors of those blobs, and then absolutely tag them at the end of this process for the farmer, then for us to see and for us to count with precision. We also have a provisional patent that's been filed where we're hoping to be able to actually capture each plant count when the canopy is overgrown, which is an enormous problem in the world of agriculture and technology, especially when looking from a bird's eye view down. And our provisional patent outlines several different technologies that we're merging together to get a really good picture of that crop underneath the canopy. And this is definitely an advantage for us in the marketplace and will be something that we continue to develop over the next few years. Our dashboard with the actual counts ends up looking like this. This is a very simple dashboard, which we share with our farmers, whether they want it or not. We find that agriculture professionals aren't really interested in tons of dashboards, and that's fair. They want to farm. But that said, we turn this dashboard into a weekly report for farmers, or daily or monthly, whatever it is they like, and it's very simple to digest. What makes us really different, and this is to speak to our competitors about the yield improvement conversation for a moment, where our competitors are really trying to put products out there that help farmers improve their yields. And this is a conversation that's been happening for years. I'll get to it more in a moment. And farmers are having a tough time agreeing with this. Again, I'll get to that on the next slide. Whereas Exactly's approach is to take something that we know can bring with 100% certainty value to that farmer. And we do that by making sure they understand that if they use our technology, they will guarantee have an uptick in improvement, which we've seen with all of our clients to date. Now back to this story of yield improvement. I just want to introduce you to Mike. Mike is a farmer, and Mike doesn't believe shit. And the reason why Mike doesn't believe anything is because he's been sold among his family of generational owners in his farm snake oil for several years. Several products have come by Mike's door and his parents' door and his grandparents' door that have been told to have improved yield and to buy this product and you'll get extraordinary results. But at the end of the day, what Mike's left thinking every single time is, well, how could this have really improved my yield? Because there are so many other factors you can see on the right-hand side that can really impact yield. And as much as we can find that there are improvements in R&D facilities, it's really difficult to pinpoint those improvements in the real world. And that's where a lot of this agriculture technology that's coming into the marketplace is sadly being overlooked, simply because of this type of hesitance on the part of the farmer because of the story that the farmers lived for so long. And that's why Mike, for example, really likes working with Exactly. He likes working with us because we provide 100% certainty behind the types of information we provide him and the value that we bring forward. He sees it from day one and he's smiling. Now, the actual value we do provide, if I can put it into words, is that we help Mike understand the exact number of crops in the ground at any given time, which allows Mike to then share that information across his organization so that productivity rises and more crops get put in the ground. That resulted, for Mike specifically, this is an example client of ours, so I can't disclose information. That resulted in over $1 million in greater revenues and outputs from that farm over the last 6 to 8 months of working with them on just 1,000 acres. That farmer specifically has 10,000 plus acres. Our traction so far is that we've generated roughly $10,000 in monthly recurring revenue since our MVP launch in July 2020. And we're really excited to be adding new logos every month and new trials, which are going to convert into revenue in the coming months. Our testimonials have been exceptional as well, and I won't go through all of these. I'm happy to discuss them offline. We're helping farmers plant better. We're helping them support their younger crops before they get blown over by the wind. We're helping them evaluate other technologies that could potentially be causing harm to their crops by looking at how many crops they had before and after those technologies are used. Our customer acquisition strategy is something that we also find is simple. We offer a free trial, we improve productivity, we drive value, and this is a more future stage, is that we're going to drive value by bringing other partners' technology into the fold as well. And then, as I mentioned with the yield improvement conversation, we really do believe we'll approach that discussion when appropriate and be able to provide immense value at that time, which is a new revenue stream for us in a couple of years. And that's because we'll be able to have enough data to actually, 3 minutes left?
Yes.
Thank you. That's because we'll have enough data for us to actually be able to pinpoint exactly why those yields are improved or not. Our product roadmap follows a very similar trend. Our MVP was launched in 2020. We now are taking some deep analytic approaches to the data we're collecting, which is helping farmers get more out of the data than just counting crops. As I mentioned in the example of that other technology that they're looking at evaluating and us being a factor in that decision and helping understand other technologies. That's where we are today, and we can help to solve other problems as well along the way, generating $10,000 monthly recurring revenue. And then the next stages in 2022 is to integrate, like I mentioned, with other companies, and then create new streams of revenue through building what we want to call a digital or virtual agronomist for farmers. Our business model is simple. Right now, it's half service, half SaaS. The service side is about $5 an acre. The SaaS side is also about $5 an acre. There's room to grow that revenue as we're providing immense value to our customers for a very low cost today. We're just looking at market penetration being a top priority. And the market itself is roughly $5 billion for salad bowl crops today in California alone. And then across America, we're looking at an $87 billion marketplace with all specialty row crops. Our financial projections, as you can see, we have a bit of a loss in year one after acquiring funding. We'll be putting a lot of our capital into sales and marketing, which you'll see on our final slide. And beyond that, we look to grow significantly year over year, hitting $25 million over the next 5 years, and more tangibly over the next 2 years, $2.5 million by acquiring 55 clients. Our team is exceptional. My experience in ag tech comes from a very strong passion for food and my community and wanting to help the world problems that exist today, which are, ending world hunger, putting more food into the food supply chain. And I've also been partnered with the Founder Institute as a mentor and helping other founders of ag tech companies over the last year and beyond. Graham Evans, our Director of Operations, also on this call and presentation, is a Salinas Valley resident and works with all of our farmers directly. Todd Gillies is our lead developer, and he's a past onion farmer himself. And then finally, our ask. We're raising $1.1 million to acquire 55 clients and $2.5 million in annual recurring revenue over the next 24 months, with a heavy emphasis on our sales and marketing, as well as data source evaluation and product investment. We really appreciate your time right now. I understand agriculture is a very difficult space to just sort of jump into. And I want to give you some confidence that Exactly is on the right path, and we're excited to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Russell, for your engaging presentation. Now we'll move into Q&A with the judges.
Am I showing? I'm not seeing myself anymore here.
I see you. Yes.
Okay. All right. Hey, really interesting. Really interesting. Are you raising, Russell? What are you using as a vehicle? Convertible note or?
We're really open to a safe. A safe seems like the most.
Okay, I think it's pretty simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And what's your pre-money valuation?
Well, right now, my honest answer is we're looking for the best investment partners, and we have a few lined up. I know this is the stock answer, but if you really wanted the number, we're looking for a $3.2 million valuation on the $1.1 million raise. But really, we're looking for the best investment partner, and we know that we'll be treated with industry fair standards.
Yeah, well, you know, I find it really fascinating. And I'm sure you don't want to, you know, a cap table that has tons and tons of investors on it, you know, that gets just really ugly. Have you considered something like also getting some money from WeFunder or from Angels, put together syndicate or anything like that? It sounds really interesting. Yeah. I love the AI in this one. The thing that I find is that, to me, that's the interesting thing. AI is really hot in valuations there. You know, will you succeed? Who knows, right? You know, right? You know that too, right? But I really think it's what you're trying to do is really interesting and is real value.
Yeah, I think we're just looking at farming a bit differently. We're thinking differently with farming, and it's just getting away from that yield improvement conversation where farmers are left pointing in every direction. AI is a big part of that. I believe we'll succeed. I think we already are succeeding at the very least today. And, you know, will we hit $120 million valuation in 5 years? Maybe not. Maybe, and maybe it'll be bigger. So yeah, I think we're really excited. Our investment partners will be thrilled just to learn with us. I think there's a lot of growth in this space. You know, our market specifically is growing from $7 billion to $13 billion over the next 4 years. You know, that's the precision ag market, and we're just excited to be a part of it. And I'm excited to partner with all the other founders of ag tech too, through my mentorship with FI, the Founder Institute. I just love the community. And unfortunately, I'm not even in California right now. I'm stuck in Canada because of COVID. I wish I was there, but I can't be today.
By the way, good answer, by the way, when you said about you will succeed, because nobody wants to invest in a company whose founder says, I don't know if we're going to succeed.
Thank you. No, we really are. Honestly, it's every day, and Graham is on the call too, listening. He's probably smiling, but he calls me every day with these little tidbits of these encouraging points that we're receiving as feedback from our clients. And it's just, everybody loves, not everybody, whoever knows and works with us really loves what we're doing. They see our passion. They see we're thinking differently. They know they need answers, and they know we'll bring them. So I just feel that we're in a really good position given how nascent, you know, the industry is right now, and for us to really just take advantage of that.
I'll connect to you through Facebook, through LinkedIn.
Looking forward to it, Tim. Thanks so much.
So I have a question. So I mean, the farmers, this is kind of will be a subscription based or something that you keep sending them the information on a regular basis?
Yes, and as we develop the value beyond just counting crops, if you take, you know, phase one is just here's your crop count, and you know, you could raise awareness and improve your productivity. That's, call it $10 an acre. If they want to then specifically look at another use case or something a bit more precise within their organization, like a different technology they want to evaluate if it's helping or hurting their crop counts, they'll add another $5 an acre. If they want to do another use case, they can add, and you can continue to expand. Yeah, you can continue to expand. I hope that answers the question.
This is a very good idea. You know, I like the idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.